Alright guys, we're over here at Mark's. Ultima is running behind me. We are now just getting this engine up to operating temperature. And I'm gonna do some revs here, but man, sounds insane.
Hi everybody, how are you? My name is Dan Dulac and welcome back to my channel where I am building a V10 powered Ultima Evolution convertible. This is episode number 38. Now unfortunately this is going to be a little bit shorter episode. My car is still at Mark's, the tuners, at EFI Motorsport just up the road from me. We are waiting for a critical part. We're waiting for a transmission mechatronic board, an electronic board that goes into my transmission where it does not have an electronic immobilizer. Starting at the year 2017 to current, the DCT transmission has an electronic immobilizer in addition to the engine immobilizer. We've addressed that on the engine and the ECUs. We've programmed out, disabled the electronic immobilizer, but we cannot do that on the transmission. There's no way to code it out. We actually need a new board. So I needed to order a 2014 or 2015 mechatronic board from the Lamborghini Huracan. They share the same transmission, but in that board, there is no electronic immobilizer. So I've got that on order. As you might expect, it's a special order part. It's gonna come from Germany. I ordered it a couple of weeks ago, I think 3 weeks ago now. They said a couple of weeks. I still haven't gotten it yet. That's the holdup. So my apologies for those of you who may be wondering what the heck is going on? Why haven't I posted a video? That's why. I just don't have a lot of content to share. But the good news is we actually filled it with coolant. We did find an issue with the radiator, which I'll cover. Pressure tested the coolant system. That allowed us to get the engine up to operating temperature. And once up to operating temperature, we gave this thing some revs, some full revs. So I can't wait to show that to you. It is super, super cool. Without further ado, let's jump in with the latest updates.
You got a crack in your radiator there.
Before we filled the system with coolant, we pressure tested the system first, and all was fine except for this one tiny pinhole leak we found at the end tank in the upper driver's side corner of the radiator. I do now have a second brand new radiator on hand, thanks to another builder in Maryland, Cliff. You know who you are, thank you very much. Cliff gave me a great deal on a spare he had, but we did temporarily fix this, filled it with some special epoxy, and filled the system with coolant. No other leaks, no issues, and then of course we could bring the engine and let the engine run longer and bring it up to its normal operating temperature.
All right, we're ready. Fire away.
All right, you may be wondering, when we start this thing, the engine stumbles. It seems to stumble for a period of time. And it did for maybe, 2 to 3 minutes until, again, the engine started to get up to operating temperature. And the key reason is because of the way I had the ECU wired. We found this out kind of after the fact. The ECU actually needs constant power on a couple of its 12-volt input circuits. I had those circuits switched, so every time we shut the car off, the non-volatile memory would get wiped out of the engine, kind of the learning of the idle and fuel mapping. So once we fixed that, we supplied constant 12-volt power to those two 12-volt inputs on the appropriate ECU pins, and then we fired it, idled it, it learned its idling map and optimization, and then we were able to obviously shut the car off, turn it back on, and it would idle just perfect. But that was a key milestone for us in figuring out, obviously, getting this engine to start and idle and run super crisp and smooth.
All right guys, we're over here at Mark's. Ultima is running behind me. Turns out we have to supply 2 circuits to the ECU for constant 12 voltage. You got that refigured, so we are now just getting this engine up to operating temperature. And I'm gonna do some revs here, but man, sounds insane. Holy shit. You can feel that right here.
All right, guys, you saw it here. That's about it. Again, apologies for the short video on this one, but I wanted to update you all on the current progress and where we are. I am hoping to receive that mechatronic board for the transmission here, hopefully in another week or two. Fingers crossed. Supply chain issues just keep delaying things. But great progress on the car, and I'm excited to get it back here in the garage so we can wrap this thing up and get this thing on the road. I'm hoping to do some test drives before snow flies here in New England. Can't believe it's already September and Labor Day is upon us. With that, that's the end of this video, guys. Stay tuned. I can't wait to show you the update. We'll get this car back and we'll keep this project going. So until then, we'll see you next time.